All right, y'all, we are back with another video. Now, I just seen this on Fox, and I seen that they are going crazy, like on about this video of saying that Joe Biden nibbles on frightened young girl. I'm like, I said this before my last video, it's always something that this man is doing. Like, just look at this title, Biden nibbles on a frightened young girl. Like, this right here is crazy. Like I said, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody that's been showing so much support. Everybody that's been leaving positive comments in the comment section. And even I thank everybody that just clicked on this video for the very first time. I appreciate you as well. Like I said before, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And let's see what Creepy Joe done did now. Man.
Well, it's been one stumble after another for President Biden's 5-day overseas trip to NATO. But boy, did he just really end it in a pretty peculiar way. Tape of the president nibbling at the shoulder of a frightened little girl. Look at that. Has everyone on media cringing. But it comes amid a new report on how the president's antics have got Democrats worried.
Oh,
top donors are said
bro.
to be quietly looking for a replacement candidate, bring in Newsom. They're worried over the slow pace of Joe's campaign and how he hasn't even set up a campaign headquarters yet.
Wow.
But there's one Democrat candidate who isn't slowing down. RFK Jr. talking to Fox and Friends this morning about polarization in America.
They're tired of the polarization. They're tired of the anger. Try to focus on the values that Americans share with each other, Republicans and Democrats, rather than focusing on those issues that are keeping us all apart. The polarization is so toxic. It's so venomous. And I think it's more dangerous than any time since the American Civil War. And we have to start talking to each other.
And while RFK pushes unity, the media continues to divide us. Listen to the deplorable thing an MSNBC guest said about pro-Trump Americans.
One of the things that's disturbing is, I guess this is working with a portion of the American people. And that, for me, is just kind of hard to take. And so what exactly is this hold that Trumpism has on some portion of the American people, that their representatives are coming to Washington and acting amok in this way? As Mika said, whether it's, ignorance, stupidity, or graft, something more nefarious, I don't know.
Pretty sure that was the same lady who was upset by the American flags. But regardless, we'll set that aside. Jesse, what do you make of the furtive texts, sideline events, emails, phone calls to prospective candidates from big Democrats saying, like, hey, Joe's not really running?
Well,
Democrats
the smart
want
money
Biden gone.
is hedging right now, because if you have a lot of dough, would you just plow it all into the Biden campaign? No, you'd look for an alternative because he's not campaigning. Jesse Waters Primetime has more staff than Joe Biden's reelection.
Wow.
He also has done
That's
one event
crazy.
that he didn't pay for, and he underperformed in his fundraising vis-a-vis Barack Obama. And he doesn't even have a campaign headquarters. He doesn't even have a campaign finance chairman. And the last time I saw the guy, he was laying back like this, glistening in the sun with his eyes closed on the beach. That doesn't look like someone's running for reelection. And then he's going to this, pretend you're a baby. He's good.
Oh, this is a mistake.
And then he's in with
the makeup.
the sniff.
Look at your
That's
jacket.
If you're a
Crazy.
donor, sorry, Harold, I'm going to send that to the dry cleaner. If you're a donor I do that to my child in the privacy of my own home. I don't do it to a random Finnish baby in the middle of Europe.
Yeah, that's crazy.
In the middle
though.
of Europe.
Look at this
I think we
man.
should go to our resident child
Look at this
sniffer on
man.
that one, Greg Gutfeld.
What does that mean?
Hey, you hit kill me.
Yeah, he put the hell in Helsinki. The baby may be from Finland.
And the baby
but Joe
trying to get
Biden
away
is
from him.
Finished.
Ooh.
How do you like that for a little wordplay?
Love it.
Yeah, it's just I don't see how this can keep going on. It's embarrassing. He's not quietly
is.
quitting. He's quietly dead. I mean, he hasn't done anything. He doesn't know where he is, I don't trust people that can't show any restraint. This guy. It's just creepy, right? I mean, it's like, I get it when people talk about kids and puppies, like, oh, you just want to eat them up. You're not supposed to. You can say, "Oh, I just want to." You don't actually do that.
And the men don't
That is
usually
just
do
sick
that.
to
It's
watch,
usually the
man.
women that, oh, what a
Yeah,
cute baby.
that's crazy.
Now, remember, I want to just point out, Mary Gay. What's interesting about her commentary is that she says that people are stupid, right? This is the woman who took Bloomberg's $500 million presidential campaign war chest and said that if you could have taken that and given $1 million to all of the 370 million Americans, quite possibly one of the dumbest things that's ever been said
That's crazy
on
she
television.
said
Do you
that.
guys remember that with Brian Williams? She cannot tell people they're stupid. She's lost that right? She can no longer say that.
Harold, I could ask you about the president eating a child's shoulder, but I won't do that to you on a Friday afternoon. Instead, I will ask you about his fundraising, $77 million, but Trump in the same period had $100 million, Obama north of $80 million, so it's kind of lackluster.
Look, I think when you run for re-election for president, Democrat or Republican, you've got to do two things. One, you got to forcefully lay out what you've done the last 4 years, and then advocate on behalf of yourself and your team as to why you need another 4 years to build on that success. And ordinarily, the two things that underline or animate that are economic success, the economy, the market. President Trump, I thought, rightly talked about the success of the stock market being an indicator of how well things are going. Our economy has proved to be pretty resilient, and the stock market has proved to be pretty resilient. So he will talk about that. I differ with you on the thing with the kid there. I had not seen that until now. I read the script beforehand.
That's sick to
but I thought
watch.
he had a decent time in Helsinki in the sense that Sweden joins NATO. NATO reiterated its commitment to, as you put it back up there, NATO reiterated its commitment to Ukraine. We made clear that Ukraine would find its way into NATO after we find some resolution to Russia, the Russia-Ukrainian issue, because we don't want immediately once they join for us to be at war there. So I actually thought it was a decent week for him. I call balls and strikes here on this show about him. But I thought he had a decent.
I mean, you're fair.
To be honest with y'all, like the crazy thing about that whole situation is that while he doing that, you got everybody around just sitting there grinning and laughing. Especially like the woman that's holding the baby. The baby is trying to get away from this man. And it's just crazy that I see why people call this man Creepy Joe. Because almost all these other videos we check, he did that to, what's the woman I think her name was? Eva Longoria or somebody like that. Hopefully I didn't butcher her name and get her name wrong, but I know he had just did something like that, getting close to her, trying to hug on her. He get behind people, like get close to them like he want to kiss them and stuff like that. I don't know, like this right here is crazy that this man is constantly doing this stuff. Like this right that's why I say every time you turn around, he is doing something bad. They say even the Democrats are prepping to replace this man. Even the Democrats trying to get rid of him. That's just how bad he's been. Like this right here is crazy. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that, man. But just seeing him do that and that child is crying and trying to get away from him and everybody out there just grinning and laughing, like that's crazy.
I've copyrighted, but I think he actually had a better week than perhaps some are giving him credit for. Now, having said that, RFK Jr., the things he's talking about are things that are on Democrats' minds. So it'll be interesting to see how President Biden begins to incorporate some of that narrative into his campaign narrative.
You know, and I don't know how this foreign trip's going to move voters. I don't think it will, Emily. But what could move voters? The media totally deriding Trump supporters the same way they did last time around in 2016. What happened there?
Right. This is a media that, as you pointed out, we talked about this, says that the American flag flying from a truck is offensive. In fact, it's a security threat, that by virtue of your presence, if you are a patriot, if you dare to fly the flag from your home, if you vote in a certain way, you are the threat. This is exactly why Americans feel totally alienated and unseen, and that's why Trump resonated with so many people, obviously. And think about all those figureheads, you know, the now unemployed Don Lemon, who made fun of people from the South voting for President Trump. Jake Tapper, who said Navy Biden's mom, well, you know, she's been, you know, associated with people on the right, so there's that. What does that mean? That if I vote conservative, I'm not befitting to be a mother? Is that what that comment made? There are Mika and Mara Gay who say it's ignorant and the like. What is ignorant about policies that result in limited government and higher unemployment rates, in thriving of an economy, in the things that people care?
And that right there was crazy that guest had called pro-Trump Americans stupid. Like, Oh man, I'm telling you, people just get on TV and they'll just say anything. They'll say anything to just try to get attention and stuff like that. So a lot of time, you can tell they just some haters and they just don't like the man. So they'll just get on TV and be like, people that do support the man are stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
Care about, including, for example, the multifaceted Hispanic population that for some reason Biden thinks by putting out a commercial in 6 different Hispanic accents, that will somehow attract a very diverse population that cares first and foremost about the economy and safety and education and law and crime. And for all those reasons, that's why they are flocking to the GOP policies. But I guess to those media figureheads, they just call it Trumpism and they call it a security threat.
Yep. Well, the nibbling president is off to a beachside
The
vacation,
nibbling
so
president.
stay clear, kids. Fastest is up next.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe.
So we have made it to the end of the video. As y'all can see, y'all got my response on what I thought about this. Like, this right here was crazy. This man is crazy. It's like every time you turn around, he's doing something crazy. And these folks out here laughing while he's up here trying to nibble on this baby and stuff like that. That was crazy. Like I said, y'all let me know what y'all thought about it. Like I said, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.